Pero, ¿quién es Vivek Ramaswamy? Hijo de inmigrantes de la India, nació y creció en Cincinnati, Ohio.
Estoy a favor de poner fin a la ciudadanía por nacimiento para los hijos de inmigrantes ilegales en este país, por lo que nadie cree que el hijo de un diplomático mexicano en este país goce de ciudadanía por nacimiento, no un juez o legal. Los académicos de este país no estarán de acuerdo conmigo en eso. Bueno, si el hijo de un diplomático mexicano no disfruta de la ciudadanía por nacimiento, entonces tampoco lo hará el hijo de un migrante ilegal que violó la ley para venir aquí.
Hablemos un poco de ti, vamos a poner tu vida sobre la mesa. Porque el buen pastor por su casa empieza. Tus jefes llegaron a América también de ilegales. Eran indocumentados cuando andabas en pañales, sin papeles buscando el sueño americano. Hoy ¿por qué te quieres poner tan intenso, mi hermano? Este pinche hijo de ladino anda menospreciándote a su misma gente. Y que Dios ampare a todo el ilegal si llega a quedar de presidente. Como quiera el mexicano, aguanta más que eso. Si hoy lo deportan el cabrón, mañana está de regreso. Que quieren invasión y hacerme la guerra sucia. Déjale marco a mis compas.
¿Cómo está China y Rusia?
¿Cómo cambia la gente si le das poder y dinero? Si vas a deportar gente, empiézate por ti primero. Luego por tus jefes, pinche doble moral. Ese país se ha forjado por la gente ilegal. No soy ilegal porque esa tierra era mía. El jale que yo hago aquí no cualquiera lo haría. Claro que no tengo papeles, pues para sacarlo no es nada sencillo. Además el papel se hizo para limpiarse el fundillo. Yo vengo a trabajar y sudarle para gastar. Gracias a Dios que el mexicano es bueno para chambear. Soy indocumentado por las barras y estrellas negado, pero gracias a mi jale este país se ha levantado. A ver quién se cansa primero, si tú deportándome. Ya a las 2 semanas yo de nuevo regresándome. Pusieron un muro para no dejarnos cruzar, pero entiéndelo, un mexicano no lo podrás parar. Nosotros hacemos lo que el gringuito no quiere hacer, pa' ganar verdes y a la familia mandar pa' comer. Ni de aquí ni de allá no me quieren en ningún lado, por no tener papeles y ser indocumentado. El que es buen perico, donde quiera es verde. Y el jale que puedo hacerles, este país se lo pierde. Soy latino, soy chingón, pa'l jale pongo la muestra. Ya pon los pies en la tierra, pero no en la nuestra. De sangre guerrera, no cualquiera me humilla. En los campos de pizca la piel morena es la que más brilla. No es mi culpa ser un indocumentado, prefiero morir de pie que vivir siempre arrodillado. No soy ilegal porque esa tierra era mía. El jale que yo hago aquí no cualquiera lo haría. Claro que no tengo papeles, pues para sacarlo no es nada sencillo. Además el papel se hizo para limpiarse el fundillo. Yo vengo a trabajar y sudarle para gastar. Gracias a Dios que el mexicano es bueno para chambear. Soy indocumentado por las barras y estrellas negado, pero gracias a mi jale este país se ha levantado.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles does not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of the United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Right, okay, alrighty. Cubile. Saludos a todos, shalom. Appreciate you, estudiante, for being here, bro. Lishiva, as always, sis. Shalom to you. Jeremias, number 7. Bendiciones, hermano, yourself as well. I am have a little bit of time. Again, I'm doing an hour now, and I got a little bit of time because I've just got some things going on here at my new little spot, and I won't be able to do much until like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I figured good time to get this class in there real quick. And give me a second. Let me fix this. And hold on, Pam. I don't know what's going on with this. What's going on with this? All right. Okay. Well, while that's getting taken care of, I guess, let's begin with here. Let me start again. Let's begin with the class. Again, we were on the restoration of the Gringo Devastation, part 3. Now, last time I left off with, well, we were talking about the deportation, Eisenhower, how they're using Eisenhower as a dog whistle, they call it, right? But not necessarily telling us that they're actually talking about Operation Wetback, the actual particular. And by the way, I'm using these glasses because I said it in my other class. I'm losing my eyesight, and I was told that it's because I don't have a mic on my screen. So, thank you for whatever. It helps me. It does help me, and I started noticing it when I was looking on my cell phone. So, anyways, all right, fam. So anyhow, let me begin with this. We left off in the Operation Wetback, and I mentioned that I was going to talk about this particular cat. Before I go there, though, I want to show you a particular topic that was just brought up to my attention, and it's in Spanish, but
Small business
it needs
owners
to be brought out. It's one of the brothers I listen to when it comes to politics and stuff. And the topic is AMLO no quiere decirlo, pero lo hizo. Toma postura entre el conflicto de Palestina versus Israel. Okay, so yeah, AMLO is gonna say something interesting here. I'm gonna speed it up because this demon, this Khazarian demon, okay, Stephen Miller, this guy here, this man, I really dislike this dude. Let me see if I can get this link. I thought I had it. There it goes, right here. We're gonna talk about this guy today because right now, we, poor little me, these damn Khazarians. This demon right here was the number one dictator of. Okay, want you to pay attention to his demon ass base. And here, let me not compare it to me. Wow, man. There was several people here and you guys just left. Okay, well, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sorry if I'm not entertaining enough for y'all. Anyway, some of you guys are busy. I get it, man. They're working. I just got here a little early. And I want to take care of it. Anyway, so this guy here was the main reason why there was such a thing as the deportation and also the separation. You see, it says here, this Stephen Miller, this so-called Jewish person, a chosen seed of God, these evil heathens here. It says here, the top hits obviously include the travel ban. Let me read it again. When he wasn't making case via Twitter that he should be put under conservatorship or speaking to Fox Friends for hours to end, Donald Trump spent much of his last 4 years enacting despicable policies, many of which concerned immigration. The top hits obviously include the travel ban, family separation, and spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money a ridiculous border wall, but also using ICE to terrorize undocumented immigrants, attempting to allow the deportation of 700,000 people who came to the U.S. as children, meaning people who have been here, our brothers and sisters have been here for quite some time. Cutting the refugee cap to the lowest level of history and generally demonizing anyone who wasn't born here and making their lives as miserable as possible. Behind these policies was the world's biggest bastard nominee. Okay? Bastard. This is a Khazarian fake Jew. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Okay? I know that you guys like to, oh, we're suffering now because there's a war against Palestine. No, you guys have been bombing Palestine for quite some time. You're arresting several of their people. I mean, you technically did what they did in South Africa and here in America. What do you call it? In South Africa, they called it apartheid. You basically did apartheid to these Palestinians. But now that they actually are biting back, now you're crying. Now you're gonna run to the oh my God, it hasn't been that bad since the Holocaust. Okay, well, here it says here that the person that was behind all of this hateful travel bans, family separation, okay, attempting to deport 700 people. We're talking about going into their homes, their jobs to terrorize them, okay? And who was behind all of this? Behind us was the world's biggest bastard nominee. That's what they gave him. For 4 years, Stephen Miller, a so-called Israeli, a fake Jew. You're not the people of the Bible. Am I saying all of them over there? No. But this guy for sure ain't. The 35-year-old advisor who cut his teeth working for Jeff Sessions, another demon, and defied his upbringing in Santa Monica to become a white supremacist. Why? Why? Because he's so-called Jewish? No, he's white. Stop acting stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid, Anglos. Okay? Don't be Republican stupid. No Democratic stupid. Open your eyes. Because I see them on TV and they look white as hell, just like you. And if you thought that he was going to ease up on the immigrant bashing policies on his way out the door, you sadly underestimated the depth of which Miller clearly hates himself. No, he hates you so-called Mexicans. Okay? The self-loathing that he takes out on anyone with less power than him, who doesn't have to spray on their hair. Instead, Miller is reportedly doing everything he can to limit immigration. Excuse me. Legal and otherwise. And on his way out the door, per Politico. Since the election day, the president's staffers have pushed through changes that made it easier to deny visas to immigrants, lengthened the citizenship test, and appointed new members to an immigration policy board. The focus is on putting a bind on President-elect Joe Biden, making it harder for him to reverse these political fraud issues, according to half a dozen people familiar with the changes. The administration pushed on immigration. The administration's push on immigration is attributed to Stephen Miller. You mean the so-called Jew of the Bible? Or you mean the one that supposedly suffered in the fake-ass Holocaust? Because that's what it is. What is it, 6 million, 1 million, 2 million? There's reports. There's a lot of reports that the numbers change all the time. And then there wasn't even that many of you guys there. So if it was 6 million, then all of y'all should have died. But you didn't. Okay? However, here we see who you really are. We're not, look, you guys are very good at judging nations because you're like the Palestinians. You didn't say the individuals, you say the Palestinians or the Mexicans or the illegal immigrants. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever anybody says illegal immigrant, they don't think of white people. They don't think of Asians, Africans. No, they think of people that look like me. We are the illegal immigrants. So when they say, oh, we're gonna deport all illegal immigrants, they don't say we're gonna deport white illegal immigrants, black illegal immigrants. No, they're gonna report people like me out of here. Why? Because they're dying. Yes, the white Anglo you're diminishing. You don't have enough kids. You're overdosing. You're using drugs. You're dying of alcohol. You're dying of a bunch of diseases. You don't reproduce. I've said it already. And you don't live long. And you eat like crap. Yeah, you've been the minority for some time. And now you're going to have to deal with it. That whole thing about Joe Biden saying, oh, we're going to give him incentives, out of respect. You mean out of the fact that you guys are not ever going to be in power ever again? And that includes you Africans as well. Because you guys are getting too happy with this, man. Y'all forgot whose continent this is. You must have forgot. Anyways, this guy here was the number one pusher to make sure that our people suffered. He put 100 to 128 questions. Let me read this. On November 13th, the administration announced let me see if I missed this. The senior aide who has largely guided the president's policy on issues for 4 years, according to people on both sides of the debate. On November 13th, the administration announced that they're starting next month. The citizenship test would include more questions about American history, which I'm sure that dumbass Miller doesn't even know. It said revised questionnaire, which received some criticism, will increase from 100 to 128 questions. 4 days later, the administration said it would also give federal officials more discretion in approving an immigration application through updates to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service Policy Manual, meaning discretion is of their opinion. The changes will provide you, so like how they feel about you. The changes will provide officers with an expanded list of positive and negative factors they could use to either accept or reject applicants. Administration officials said the new language would make the decision more consistent and fair, but immigrant advocates say new factors such as the length of family ties, history of employment, and community standing will lead to longer processing time and additional denials. The same day, the administration published a proposed rule that would limit work permits for immigrants, meaning Mexicans or Hispanics, awaiting deportation but not in custody. This guy right here. Don't forget his damn ugly face. Okay? So now, let's go.
Fuertes declaraciones del presidente Andrés Manuel López Obrador contra el primer ministro de Israel por todo el conflicto que está sucediendo entre Palestina e Israel. No sé si se dieron cuenta todo este fin de semana de todo lo que pasó por aquellos rumbos, por este conflicto que comenzó. Y pues ahora sí que muchas muertes, desplazados y pues destrucción sobre todo. Vamos a ver a quién está apoyando México y pues toda esta situación, cómo va las circunstancias y pues todo lo que ha hecho, sobre todo Israel. Vamos a escuchar qué dice el presidente sobre su posición en este conflicto.
Buenos días, presidente. Alonso Urrutia, del periódico La Jornada. Quisiera conocer su postura acerca del conflicto en Medio Oriente. Digo, ya ayer fijó alguna posición el gobierno mexicano, pero quisiera conocer su postura personal.
Pues ya se definió nuestra postura. Nosotros estamos a favor de la paz. No consideramos que deba utilizarse la violencia. Es muy claro el mandato de nuestra Constitución en cuanto a política exterior: no intervención, autodeterminación de los pueblos, cooperación para el desarrollo, solución pacífica de las controversias. Esa es nuestra postura. No queremos la guerra, no queremos la confrontación, no queremos la violencia. Sostenemos que es lo más irracional que puede haber, que puede existir: la confrontación, el uso de la fuerza y la guerra, que produce mucho sufrimiento. No queremos víctimas por las guerras. Lamentamos mucho lo que está pasando por este enfrentamiento de palestinos, de israelitas. Consideramos que Naciones Unidas debe de aplicarse a fondo, no solo el Consejo de Seguridad de Naciones Unidas, porque estamos viendo que no apuestan a la búsqueda de la paz, siempre bloquean cualquier iniciativa en ese sentido. Yo creo que se debe de convocar a una asamblea de Naciones Unidas con la participación de todos los países miembros para pronunciarse por el diálogo, por la solución pacífica y evitar la guerra con todo el daño que ocasiona. Esa es nuestra postura. En cuanto a los mexicanos que se encuentran en Israel, hoy sale un avión para traer a los que quieran venir a México. Están trabajando los embajadores de Palestina, de Israel. Hay apuntados alrededor de 300 mexicanos que quieren salir. En el caso de Israel, la mayor parte de los mexicanos que están lo han hecho por viajes turísticos, fundamentalmente religiosos, y como están cancelando vuelos comerciales, se decidió enviar un avión que sale hoy mismo por la mañana y se está preparando otro para salir por la tarde. Y se está buscando la protección de todos nuestros connacionales. Hay reportes de 3 mexicanos desaparecidos. Ya se tiene comunicación.
Well, he's talking about, just to kind of summarize, regarding the avoiding the conflict, okay? Avoiding the conflict at all means. And Mexico has always had that posture. It's nothing new under the sun. Let me show you this real quick. This was from the book I brought out yesterday, The Open Veins of Open Veins of Latin America. Okay. We're going to read page, I think this is page 113. Yeah, it's page 113. Let me go ahead and do this here real quick. Let's read. Matter of fact, let's read it. Can I do this? Can I magnify this? Hold on. Let's begin. Who started the violence in Guatemala? So, why am I touching this? Because it's a never-ending thing. It's never ending. It's over and over and over, and it means Dwight Eisenhower's involved. That's going with the point. It says Ubico was swept off his pedestal in 1944 by a revolution of liberal hue led by some young officers and middle-class university people. Juan Jose Arevalo, elected to presidency, instituted a vigorous education plan and a new labor code to protect rural and city workers. Trade union United Fruit, the virtually untaxed and uncontrolled owner of vast lands of the railroad and port. This is an American country in Guatemala. Okay? No, I'm sorry. A Anglo, meaning of this land here, right? It's an institution, a firm that's in Guatemala. They are untaxed and uncontrolled. They can do what they want. The United Fruit, okay? The virtually untaxed and uncontrolled owner of the vast lands. I wonder where you got that land from. And the railroad and ports was no longer omnipotent on its domain. Why? Because Juan Jose came in, elected by the people. In his farewell speech in 1951, Arevalo disclosed that he had to deal with 32 conspiracies financed by the firm. The administration of Jacobo Arbenz Guzman continued to extend the reforms. Highways in new Port of San Jose broke United Fruit's monopoly of transport and export. Remember, this is a Anglo country, business in Guatemala who had control of the monopoly of the transport and export in another country. You see what I mean by the so-called Anglo here in America has his arm reaching down to Guatemala, and then you guys wonder why you have Guatemaltecos coming here. Now you wonder why. And this is why I laugh at you politicians and you political so-called pundits and you dumbasses who believe in republicanism and democraticism. All of this stupidity. You complain about the problem that you create. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like I can't even, I don't even want to say it because it's just, I don't even want to relate to my family with that. But this is what you guys did. It says here, with the national, I'm sorry, right here, with the national capital and without begging from any foreign bankers, various projects were launched to lead the country to independence. Guatemaltecos becoming independent, right? The Anglo don't like that. You know, the neighbor, the one that has a nice house, but when you start fixing your own, he gets mad at you. Typical Anglo, right? An agrarian reform law aimed basically at developing a peasant capitalist economy and an agricultural capitalist economy in general was approved in 1952. By 1954, over 100,000 families had benefited, Guatemaltecos, of their own progress, of their own individuality under their own democratic structure, so-called, okay? They progress. The white man, the Anglo, the black man, you guys, yes, it's both of you. Don't act like it's just the Anglo. And by the way, Africans, Black Americans or West Africans, you guys love to talk about Amalek and the Khazarians. Well, they love you guys very much. Y'all are in cahoots with them. They are in charge of the movie media, and you guys are the actors and, the characters. But Amalek, and woo to Edom and the Amalek and the Khazarians. You guys are in cahoots with them. They love you guys. Stop acting like you don't have nothing to do with them. Yes, Nate the Snake, you gave it away. Remember, you said they were our allies, and these very same allies turned against us. Yes, that's what happened. Anyways, not to get off the point. It says here, and Gregorian reform, I'm sorry, no. It says, by 1954, over 100,000 families had benefited. Although the law only affected idle lands and paid expropriatory owners an indemnity on bonds. Watch this. But since the United Fruits was using a mere 8% of its land, which extended from ocean to ocean, believe that, its unused lands began to be distributed to the peasants. A frenetic international propaganda campaign was launched. Who is in charge of the media? Let me get that. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Proverbs 26:24, it says, a hypocrite hides hate behind flattering words. Very true. They'll say, we're here to liberate you. We're here to establish democracy, peace, and love, and freedom for all, right? A hypocrite hides hate behind flattering words. You, so-called bracero, you undocumented, illegal, damn wetbag, when we need you, come to work. When we don't need you, we're going to do Eisenhower Operation Wetbag, Vivek Salamis, and Trump's whole propaganda about what they're doing. I want you guys to understand, when they're using Eisenhower, they're talking about wetbacks. They're calling you guys wetbags once again. I hope that rings the bell. I hope that really marinates in your brain. It says here, the Iron Curtain is falling over Guatemala, roared the radio, newspapers, and bigwigs of the Organizations of America states. Who is in charge of media? You so-called fake Jews. You so-called Israelis. The ones that are getting bombarded right now by Palestinians, and they're kicking your ass. And that's why now you're like, oh, poor me. But you guys have been in cahoots with media and democratic power or political power to demise and completely obliterate our history or even the work or effort that we put into this land of ours. No, you passed laws, right, to deport us. And then you want help because you went to Palestine. And now you want to deport them. Isn't that weird? They come here, they want to deport us. They go to Palestine and they want to deport them. You guys are something else. And stop. And anyways, I don't want to get off topic. It says here, the Iron Curtain is falling over Guatemala. Roared the radio, newspapers, and bigwigs like Fox, like all of those Jews that own these medias. Okay, they've been owning media since the whole World War II, in 1920, the Roaring '20s. They were the media moguls. In Germany as well. It says here, Colonel Rodolfo Castillo Armas, a graduate of Fort Leavenworth military post, invaded his own country with troops trained and equipped for the purpose by the United States, and with the support from U.S. piloted F-47 bombers. We had to get rid of a communist government, which has taken over. Dwight Eisenhower said 9 years later. Page 112. It was before this. Massacre were continual throughout the area. In Guatemala, in 1933, Jorge Ubico shot 100 trade union, students, and political leaders while restoring the law against Indian vagrancy. Each Indian had to carry a book listing his days of work. If these were deemed insufficient, he paid the debt in jail and by bending his back over the ground without pay for half a year. On the unhealthy Pacific Coast, men worked up to their knees in mud for 30 cents a day, and United Fruits explained that Ubico had forced it to cut his wages. Wow. And you see this right here? You know, like the Holocaust, each Indian had to carry a book listing his own day's work, and if they weren't deemed insufficient, he would pay the debt. It's just like that. You had to show who you were. On the bottom, Ubico granted coffee and banana concerns permissions to kill. Plantation proprietors will be exempt from criminal responsibility. Let me read that again. Proverbs 26:24. A hypocrite hides hate behind flattering words. We're here to liberate. We're here to uplift this country. We're here to implement democratic American white values, white and black values. Yes, it's both of you. You ain't getting away from this. I know you love to say you're not the same, but you are. You're all in cahoots. You're Beyoncés all over. You're just a bunch of Beyoncés. They may sound fine, but don't believe him because his heart is filled to the brim of hate. Now it says here, verse 26. He may disguise his hatred, but everyone will see the evil things he does. And we're seeing it. We are seeing it. Like all the Caribbean tyrants, Ubico thought he was Napoleon. Let's go back. Let's read this one. Introduction. Over a century ago, Guatemalan's foreign minister said prophetically, it will be strange if the remedy should come from the United States, the same place which brings us the disease. Now that let me read this again, okay? Because this is actually scriptural. It's this one here. Let me read it real quick. Lamentations 4:17 says, it says here, as for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. It says here, over a century ago, a Guatemalan foreign minister said prophetically, it would be strange if the remedy would come from the United States, the same place which brought us the disease. That's why it says that what it says in Lamentations. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched over a nation that could not save us. That's why he says that. It's strange to think that they're going to be the ones saving us when they're the ones that brought all the disease over to us. Now that the Alliance for Progress is dead and buried, the Imperium proposes more in panic than in generosity to solve Latin America's problems by eliminating Latin Americans. I'm just going to read the highlighted part. The system speaks of surrealist language. In lands that are empty, it proposes to avoid births. In countries where capital is plentiful but wasted, it suggests that capital is lacking. It describes as aid the deforming orthopedic of loans and the draining of the wealth. It says here, upon the oligarchy to practice social justice. The class struggle only exists we are told, because foreign agents stir it up. But social classes do exist, and the oppression of one by the other is known as Western way of life. That's capitalism. The Marines undertake their criminal expeditions only to restore order. You see that? The only reason why America goes to war, like when they went to Iraq or when they went to Nicaragua, or when they went to Salvador, when they're trying to go into Mexico right now, the Marines undertake their criminal expeditions only to restore order and social peace, meaning to restore that they're in power. They don't want no one else to be in power. And the dictatorship linked to Washington lay foundations in their jails for law-abiding states and ban strikes and smash trade unions to protect the freedom to work. Is everything forbidden except to fold our arms? It says here, I'll read the highlighted part on the bottom. In a sense, the right wing is correct in identifying itself with the tranquility and order. It is an order of daily humiliation for the majority. Operation Wetback. Operation Wetback. You Mexicans, you guys are rapists, murderers, drug dealers, children traffickers, fentanyl producers, murderers, cartels. That's what they say. This is what it's actually saying. In a sense, the right wing is correct in identifying itself with tranquility and order. It is an order of daily humiliation for the majority, but an order non-ethless, I guess. It is a tranquility in which injustice continues to be unjust and hunger to be hungry. Man, that's beautiful, bro. Maybe read that real quick. Sirach 13:3. If a rich person wrongs someone, he can afford to add insult to the injury. But if a poor person is wrong, he is forced to apologize for himself. Man, that's so beautiful. If a rich person wrongs someone, he can afford to add insult to injury. Why? Because he can afford an attorney. You sue him, I'll just get an attorney. But if a poor person, and a lot of times because of respect, rich guy, the poor guy's probably wrong. It says, but if a poor person is wrong, he is forced to apologize for himself. That's what they tell us. Now let's go to page 6. Let us act on the fact that less than $5 invested in population control is worth $100 invested in economic growth. Let me read that again. This is Eisenhower, the president that promoted Operation Wetback, the president that Donald Dwarf, Orange Man Trump, and Vivek Salami from stinky India town, okay? They are promoting this here. He says, and I quote, Dwight Eisenhower, let us act on the fact that less than $5 invested in population control is worth $100 invested in economic growth. Dwight D. Eisenhower, Operation Wetback, prophesied that if the world's inhabitants continued multiplying at the same rate, not only would the danger of revolution be increased, but there would also be a lowering of living standards for all people, including his own. Various U.S. missions have sterilized thousands of women in Amazonia. Most Latin American countries have no real surplus of people. On the contrary, they have too few, blah, 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 blah. You got to take a picture of that. A couple more. The human murder by poverty in Latin America is secret. Every year, without making a sound, 3 Hiroshima bombs explode over communities that have become accustomed to suffering with clenched teeth. So now you guys understand? Well, you won't, because you'll make excuses, but that's why you see a lot of people migrating. And I laugh at you so-called Africans. You that want to call yourselves African Americans down here in politics. You want to, you're I don't know if you're clout chasing, but you're definitely, hanging on the white man's coattail, and you're using all of his, regurgitating the same exact crap, but you don't do your homework. Little did you know that you Africans were in Florida, that was part of Spain. Prior to 1763, that was actually Spanish territory. Once they went to war, then Florida was sold. That's when some of you guys became Americans, so-called, or went to Cuba, and you stopped speaking Spanish. But prior to that, you guys used to run to avoid getting enslaved by white and black folks, because they were enslaving you guys too. Your own people. Yeah. They were enslaving our gente a lot. Participatory intervention was all about us, not you guys. Let's continue. It says here, the systematic violence is not apparent, but it's real, and it's constantly increasing. It's Holocaust, the real Holocaust, not that fake one that happened in Germany, not the stupid one that's going on in the Palestine that people are probably feeling sorry for them. No. Its Holocaust are not made known to the sensational press, but in food and agricultural organization statistics. Its Holocaust are not made known in the sensational press. Like we get it, black, slave movies every 2 years, Holocaust every 2 years, but we never hear about us going through any of that. Bottom part, the World Bank, he says, will give priority in its loans to countries that implement birth control plans. McNair notes with regret that the brain of the poor do 25% less thinking. Let me read this here. Ball says that it is still possible to act with impunity because the poor cannot set off a world war. But the Imperium is worried. Unable to multiply the dinner, it does what it can to suppress the diners. Fight poverty, kill a beggar. Some genius of a black humor crawled on a wall in La Paz. What do the heirs to Malthus propose to kill all the beggars to do before they are born? Robert McNair, the World Bank president, Robert McNair, which is I'll show you. Watch this. I'm gonna show you. McNamara. Let me see. Give me a second. Where's he at? Can't find him. And the link somewhere. Anyways, he says the World Bank president, who was chairman of Ford and then secretary of defense, he called the population explosion the greatest obstacle to progress in Latin America. The World Bank, he says, will give priority in its loans to countries that implement birth control plans. McNair notes with regret that the brain of the poor do 25% less thinking, which is why I showed you guys this at the beginning. They think that you so-called Hispanics are very stupid. They think we're very stupid. That's why, here's my opinion on it. When I started bringing out these classes, I had a lot of people that just, matter of fact, they even thought that I was like some other nationality. Why? Because they sure as hell don't like or don't believe that a so-called Mexican actually has a brain. Like Pinky in the Brain, you know? Like we actually have a brain. Jude 1:16, these people are grumblers and fault finders who go wherever they desire lead them. And they give bombastic speeches and enchanting folks for their own gain. That's exactly what Donald Trump does. What does that say, sis? Decrease our people so they have the land entirely to themselves. Yeah. Well, check this out. Look, you hit it on the nail. Watch.
For the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when that order and progress can only come when that order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all surrender their rights to an individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Let that sink in, because we just read that right a little while ago. We just read that. We literally just read that. That is witchcraft. That is definitely witchcraft, sis. That's for sure. Where is it at? Where's the page at? Says here. McNair notes with regret that the brain of the poor do 25% less thinking. And the World Bank technocrats who have already been born set computer hummings to produce the labyrinth abracadabras on the advantages of not being born if one of the bank's documents asserts a developing country with an average per capita. There's a lot involved in these things here. Now, this is called the deportation machine. Okay, I got about 13 minutes, so let me hurry up on this. Take a picture of it. You're going to find out what this is. IIRIRA. Okay. It's, where is it at? It's called the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigration Responsibility Act. This was signed by Bill Clinton. Okay. So as you can see that through this law, you saw an increase of deportation. So these Democrats that you so-called Hispanics so love, and these Republicans that you so-called Hispanics so want to cherish because, oh, they're conservatives. These are the same people that reinstate a removal. These are the same people that say, oh, we're going to implement Eisenhower, meaning wetbacks. So when they deport you, or deport your cousin, your brother, your sister, your uncle, whatever, they're deporting wetbacks. So because of the sake of time, I'm not going to read it. But take pictures of it. Page 176, 177, 178, 179. Okay? The deportation machine. All right? So for the sake of time, I want to continue. Let me go over here real quick. I know I was talking about Miller. Oh, man, but, we kind of go off segment sometimes. So check this out. This is from the Decade of Betrayal. We're going to go to page 123. It's a really short one. Okay? Just going to read this to you guys real quick. Watch this. It's here. In Southern California, okay, remember the book is called A Decade of Betrayal, Mexican Repatriation in the 1930s. In Southern California, ships were also used to transport indigents to Ensenada, Guaymas, Mazatlan, Acapulco, and other coastal ports. When the shipping service was first inaugurated, it was hailed as marvelous, if not ingenious, idea. Hopes and expectations soared in anticipation of being able to repatriate large numbers of indigent nationals at a minimal cost. When the Progreso, a naval gunboat, first docked in San Pedro Harbor to pick up passengers, meaning wetbacks, its arrival triggered a series of parties to celebrate the occasion. Relatives and neighbors hosted fiestas to fete and say adios to those who had been chosen to make the meeting. What? Been chosen, yeah. However, farewell parties often resembled a wake. Half-hearted attempts at gaiety fell flat and were punctuated with sorrowful tears, abrazos, embraces, and hugs. The sorrowful scene was repeated at the dock as relatives and friends exchanged their farewells. The Mexican consulate in San Diego and Los Angeles often cooperated with each other in order to maximize the number of repatriates being shipped home. The minimum number on a cost-effective basis was 200 individuals. The shiploads of 500 and 600 were not uncommon. In one occasion, 800 were on board the gunboat Progreso when it weighed anchor and sailed from San Diego. It was calculated that the average cost per passenger was $8. This meager stipend purchased uncomfortable accommodations because it was not a passenger vessel. You guys were stuffed like sardines, like in 1492 when they started taking us everywhere. And no, black folks, that's not what happened to y'all. Stop lying. You guys were indentured servants through the head rights program. Get it right. There's no empathy here. Go ask for it somewhere else. All of that shit is a lie. The Willie Lynch letter is a lie. Come up with something else. It says here, moreover, the ship was full, making for pitiful conditions, according to Alicia Apodaca, who visited the vessel before it departed. Apodaca stated she will never forget the pitiful screams of a woman passenger as the ship left its berth. Let us off. I'm just gonna die. I have no money. No one knows me in that town in Mexico. Repatriate Sebastiana Briones Casas and Southern California colonial leader Lucas Lucio sadly recalled a heart-rending experience. Like so many other aspects of repatriation nightmare, the Progreso venture never lived up to its billing. After the vessel had made a few trips, SRE discontinued the services because it was not considered to be cost-effective. There was also an occasion when a fierce storm shipwrecked the repatriation ship in Ensenada in Baja California. However, the Mexican government continued to practice of employing gunboats, such as Nicolas Avila, for transporting unemployed Mexicans home from Cuba and Central Mexico, America. I'll just finish this one here. While the ships were used intermittently, trains were the most common means of transportation for repatriates being shipped home by welfare authorities. Welfare was involved. But we weren't even applying for welfare because we didn't benefit. We didn't get no benefits. Trains of every type and descriptions were used to expedite the process, meaning kick you guys out. Accommodations were usually limited to second-class passengers. Anyways, but sometimes even boxcars, cattle cars were pressed into services. On rare occasions, Pullmans and compartment cars were also utilized. Train trips from such places as Pittsburgh, Chicago, Detroit, Gary, Indiana, and other eastern cities often became tests of sheer endurance. The trip to the border might take over a week. As the trains chugged along at a snail pace, first-class passengers and freight trains took precedent, and nothing caused the repatriation trains to be shunted off onto a siding. Wow. Trains with hundreds, sometimes over thousands, repatriates aboard regularly left collection centers such as Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, Denver, Phoenix, Oklahoma City, and Los Angeles. Fares on both sides of the border averaged about a penny a mile. In Chicago, the Inland Steel Company provided free fares to Laredo, Texas for 170 former employees. In Denver, the Santa Fe Railroad offered half fares to El Paso. Repatriates from Torrington, Wyoming, demanded a 50% reduction in fares. Pezzoni, Mississippi, offered Mexicans half fares to the border in order to induce them to leave. Kansas City, Missouri, also made half fares available. In Detroit, railroad fares were reduced to 60% to help indigent Mexicans avoid the onslaught. Now, indigent, I keep reading that, right? Indigent, meaning it means poor, needy. I'm calling you guys needy. In Detroit, railroad fares were reduced to 60% to help indigent Mexicans, needy wetbacks, avoid the onslaught of winter. Not getting in on the discount rate could prove costly. Oklahoma City was forced to pay $1,060.85 to provide passages for 89 repartites, and so on and so on and so forth. The book is called Decades of Betrayal, the Mexican Repatriation in 1930. I'm going to put it here for you guys to see it. Now we're almost done. I got about another 10 minutes and then we're set. So I want to show you this real quick. This guy, where is it at? No, that's not the article. Let me see something real quick.
Miren.
I thought I had the article. Let's see. Oh, there's right here. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second. No, I read that yesterday. I guess I don't have the link, man. That sucks. Okay, well, let's hurry up. All right, watch this real quick. We're gonna start seeing this happen often. So check this out. All right, this happened a few days ago. Actually, several days ago.
Qué terrible, una mujer migrante presuntamente fue separada de sus hijos en la frontera con Estados Unidos y todo quedó captado. Así es, solo vean. Pues la verdad, mi gente, que es algo muy difícil ver y yo solo quiero buscar la manera de ayudar a esta señora. El video fue captado por una persona que vio el incidente mientras iba cruzando el puente internacional y no se ha sabido más nada. Así que por favor, mi gente, ayúdenme a difundir este video para que podamos encontrar a la señora y de esa manera saber qué fue lo que verdaderamente pasó y cómo la podemos ayudar a ella y a sus hijos.
Why is she trying to take the baby from that lady? You know? Why? What's the deal? What is the deal? Let me see here real quick. All right, so now let's try to finish it with this here. We're almost done. So we got an Anglo here complaining. I laugh at these guys. Let's have some enjoyment because we're basically done. All right, just gonna finish off a couple of things. Let's listen in.
I'm not even gonna fucking say it. Get your shit together. Get ready. Get food and water. Get some fucking ammo. They're doing it to Israel. We're next. Our fucking borders are open. The UN soldiers are coming in. They're already here. They're just waiting for their fucking orders to go. You know, I don't know if the police are going to be helping them. I imagine the military is going to help them. Because we all know during COVID, they got rid of all the good police officers and good military people because the people that wouldn't take the shot, they got rid of them. And all the fucking losers that did, well, obviously they're just going to go with the plan. So here's my point. Get some food, get some water, figure out a plan, make sure everybody knows what to do, and get the fuck out of a big city when the shit comes down.
In case you guys don't know, it is biblical that that's going to happen. But remember, keep in mind, Africans and Anglos. When you first came here, a lot of us died of diseases. That's not happening this time. It's the other way around. And I'm going to tell you something, family, because I'm basically going to finish. I got some scriptures to show you. Okay, now we're going to finish it off because I just want to. This is the last class here. So let's go to Exodus right here, 11 and 5. Watch what it says. It says here, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of the Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beast. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When the Most High went and punished them, the Egyptians had other slaves. They had African slaves, like African-looking ones, you know what I'm saying? And they had other slaves too, but he didn't do this because of them. He did it because of us. And he's going to do it again. Now, I'm going to say this with y'all, because I find it so beautiful. Isaiah 47. Let's go to this real quick. Isaiah 47. All right. Watch what it says here. Isaiah 47, verse 2. Take the millstones and grind mill. Uncover thy locks and make bare the leg. Uncover thy thigh. Pass over the river. Meaning, expose yourself, America, Babylon. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, all of them are not of the scriptures. Thy nakedness shall be unclean. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Meaning, now we know that it wasn't just white folks that were enslaving people. It was also black folks that were enslaving people. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Meaning that now with these dog whistles, Eisenhower, wetback operation, Repatriation Act, the Bracero program, the gas baths in 1917, all of this been happening to us. And even to this day, they every 4 years, they sing the same song. But now we know, thy nakedness shall be unclean. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Now we know how these two nations interact with each other. Because the Khazarians are just like them. Ain't no different. Remember, the eagle has 3 heads, family. I'm going real fast on this. But if you guys my classes, you guys will know what I'm talking about. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee unto darkness, O daughter of Chaldeans. It's a kingdom. It repeats itself again. Remember, this is a kingdom with all of the kingdoms all wrapped in together. I think it's Exodus 16:25. It talks about that. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Nah. I was wroth with my people. Yeah, he was upset with us. I have polluted my inheritance because he allowed us to be of your servants. I gave them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy when you guys both came. Remember, the Africans held the pennant of everywhere the Spanish flag came. And the Africans, just like Buffalo Soldiers, the white man sent them, gave them the job. They went and killed our people, slaughtered a bunch of buffaloes. Thy nakedness shall be unclean. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Verse 3. Verse 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, and the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and gave them into thy hand. Thou didst show no mercy. Put us on hooks, trampled our children, fed us to dogs, cut our throats, cut our hands, cut our ears, cut our noses, threw us overboard. Now, we don't see that in media, nor do we see that in actual history. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance. I gave them into thy hand. You see, I have polluted my inheritance. I was wroth with my people. I was upset at my people, and I kind of polluted my inheritance. This is kind of where the Most High, in a sense, regretting it. I gave them unto thy hand because he allowed them, right? Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancients hast thou very little, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, meaning the wise men, our brothers and sisters, wise men with actual knowledge of medicinal, medicinal knowledge, or like herbal understanding, curing health and all these things, and just wisdom that we carry from our family. Y'all had no love for them. And thou said it, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. Neither did it remember the latter end of it. So now we hear these guys all the time. Oh, America is going down. I don't know what's going on. Let me read it again. And thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever. They said America's the greatest country, right? Make America great again. So that thou did not lay these things to thy heart. Because if you supposedly have the book, our book, and you read it, you don't see that you're them. Neither did remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures. So, like, for example, what is this society all built on? baseball, football, basketball, boxing, alcohol, promiscuousness, body count, drugs. Well, alcohol is drugs. Pedophilia, homosexuality, Sodom and Gomorrah, all of these things. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, like Wisdom of Solomon 2. You guys read it. Wisdom of Solomon 2 talks about that. To live carelessly. I'll share it right here. Wisdom of Solomon 2:8. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without our part of voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. Verse 6, I'm sorry. Come, Ammon, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creature like as in youth. So when you're young, having sex, all these things, you know what I'm saying? Having fun, staying up late, doing whatever, recovering quick. Let's just enjoy it. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments. And let no flower of the spring passes by. Get laid. Get laid. Just like that song. How's it go? Hold on. This song right here. Give me a second. This one right here.
Do you like having a PO?
Check this out. You guys know what song this is?
We don't care, we smoke. So what, we get drunk. So what, we smoke weed. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what, we go out. We get a lighter. That's how it's supposed to be. Cause you know I'm high as fuck. Young and wild. Keep that in there free.
So see? Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. So what, we get drunk? So what, we don't sleep? We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what, we get high? That's how it's supposed to be. We were young, loud, and free, right? So let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments. Let no flower of our spring pass us by. Let us crown ourselves as rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let's leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and this is our lot. This is our lot. Verse 6, once more. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creature like as in youth. Like as in youth. Let me say it again.
We're just get drunk.
Follow through, baby.
So what, we get drunk. So what, we smoke weed. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what, we go out. We get a lighter. That's how it's supposed to be. Cause you know I'm high as fuck. Young and wild. Keep that in there free.
And we know who promotes that, and we know who pushes that agenda. So now, let's go finish it off real quick. Micah 4. Let's do it. This is the last class. Part 3, last one. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains. Now, remember this, in fact, family. Before this happens, we have to actually have that in our minds and in our spirit. The kingdom of God dwelleth in us. That's why you examine yourself every day. And you kill that old man daily. You examine yourself. Sirach 6. You go through the actual process of discipline. Put yourself in those shackles of the Most High. And I guarantee you, family, if you actually do want to make a change and repent, he will cleanse all of that for you. I'm a walking example. I used to suffer, and that wasn't even that long ago that I was suffering. Man, I begged the Most High to get rid of this thorn, man, and he allowed it. Like, I don't even crave these things no more. All praises to him, man. I'm telling you, man. All praises to him. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the Lord of the hosts shall be established on the top of the mountains, because that's where it comes from, wisdom. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the house, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and he will walk in his path, and we will walk in his path. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So first, it has to come from us within. From us within. This is why we are the light of the world. It has nothing to do with speed, strength, or durability, or how great you are in bed. No, it's wisdom. Wisdom. That's what it is. Zechariah 8:20. Let me hurry up. Zechariah 8:20. It's a good way to start my day, man. I'm about to get to work. Zechariah 8:20. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, perfect. Zechariah 8:20. Let's read it real quick. It says here, thus say the Lord of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before the Lord and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will also go. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord and the host in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. Thus say the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, a real one, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. All praises to the Most High. And the only way that you can actually understand that is if you do see the changes in your life. Get your house in order. Get yourself in order. You're the house first, then it becomes your family. The repentance, the cleansing is a daily thing, family. It doesn't stop. You got to be rigorous. Just how we were rigorous when it came to sin, we need to be rigorous about how we cleanse ourselves. Matter of fact, I wasn't supposed to read that, man. But let's go to verse 8. Zechariah 8. That's right. Zechariah 2:8. That's where I was going. My bad. For thus say the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he had touched you. For he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye. Let me read it this way, okay? Watch this real quick. Anyone who strikes you, strikes what is most precious to me. So the Lord Almighty sent me with this message for the nations that have plundered his people. The Lord himself will fight against you, and you will be plundered by the people who were once your servants. Hold on a second. You will be plundered. When this happens, everyone will know that the Lord Almighty sent me. And the Lord said, sing for joy, people of Jerusalem. I am coming to live among you. At that time, many nations will come to the Lord and become his people. He will live among you, and you will know that he has sent me unto you. Many nations is our people, all scattered everywhere. Once again, Judah, and it ain't you Africans, will be the special possession of the Lord in his sacred land. Ooh. And Jerusalem will be the city he loves most of all, because we are a people first. Be silent, everyone, in the presence of the Lord, for he is coming from his holy dwelling place. Remember La Llorona? Jerusalem, that's really what it is. You read that in Sirach, I believe 44, or 2nd Esdras. I cannot remember which one. But you read about the woman, Jerusalem, she's crying. She's crying for her children that died. That's what the Llorona was crying about. She was crying for the children that died. Don't fall for those things, family. Don't fall for those things. Now let's check this out real quick. We're all set. I talk about that. That's easy waste. All right, now let's see this real quick. As you can see, it's going on, right? Going on. Look at that. The bomb started. Boom. There. See on the bottom? See right here? Boom. That's the following day. This is where it all started right here. Look at that. The night before. All right. So now let's continue. Amos 9:11. Where are you at? Amos 9:11. Amos 9:11. That's crazy. It says, the Lord says, a day is coming when I will restore the kingdom of David, which is like a house falling into ruins. I will repair its walls and restore it. I will rebuild it and make it as it was long ago. And it starts with each one of us. It starts with each one of us to hold a hedge. We create the hedge. We create the hedge for our families. We're the ones that actually have to be the protectors first. Let me see this real quick. I appreciate that, bro.
Good rising.
Oh, God. Here we go, right here. Let's see. Hold on. I think I'll watch this later. Yeah, I'll watch it later. All right. So it says here, I will repair its walls and restore it. So remember, us men, the fathers, the men, we are the hedge of our people. We are the hedge of our home. It starts with us first. I will rebuild it and make it as long as I go. Okay, remember that. We are the hedge. It starts with us. The change starts with us. Don't be fooling yourselves, family. Start breaking yourself apart. Do that inventory. Put yourself in those shackles. Get under that discipline of the Most High. And I guarantee you're going to see something so beautiful. Like, man, I think it's this right here. I think it's this one. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on. 2 Corinthians somewhere. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me, family. Bear with me. We need to read that. I need to read that, man. I need to read that. It's because it's beautiful. It's important. Let's see. Hold on. I don't know. Maybe you may know this one. Estudiante. Eyes have not seen or ears heard the things which God has, the things with God. God, man, I can't remember. Something in 2 Corinthians or 1 Corinthians. Let me see. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 2:9. Oh, here it goes. 1 Corinthians 2:9. Watch what it says. However, as the scripture said, what no one ever saw or heard, what no one ever thought could happen, it is the very thing God prepared for those who love him. I'm telling you, family, the work is now. The work is now. All right, let me see real quick. That's right. Keep going real quick. Let me go back. I'm just trying to finish it. That's why. I'm trying to finish it. Amos, hold on a second. 9:11. It says here, verse 12. And so the people of Israel will conquer what is left of the land of Edom and all the nations that were once mine, says the Lord, who will cause this to happen. The days are coming, says the Lord, when grain will grow faster than it can be harvested. The grapes will grow faster than the wine can be made. The mountains will drip with sweet wine, and the hills will flow with it. I will bring my people back to their land. Keep in mind that bring us back into our state of mind first. They will rebuild their ruined cities and live there. They will plant vineyards and drink wine. They will plant gardens and eat what they grow. I will plant my people on the land I gave them. That's why the scriptures say, I see men as trees walking. That's why it takes time to get rid of that. Leviticus 19:23, read it. There's a parable in there. Read it. You are a tree. Read it. 19:23, Leviticus 19:23. You are a tree. Read it. Hopefully it makes sense. I will plant my people on the land I gave them, and I will not, and they will not be pulled up again. The Lord your God has spoken. So now, let me finish it with this. And then I'm gonna show you something. Whoop. So here's, another idiot, another wobble idiot. So let's enjoy this wobbleism. And I guess this guy wants to show his tats because he thinks he's hard now. Okay. So let's listen to another stupidity here. Listen, I don't even know what's wrong with y'all. But anyways, it's okay. It's none of my business. You guys are already gonna get destroyed, and you're getting destroyed because I'm gonna tell you something, family. remember these spirits, we have spirits that sin, right? So these spirits have to dwell somewhere. Remember when the Messiah went in there and he cast the demons out of this guy, and they're like, hey, don't put us anywhere, throw us in the pigs, right? So in this very same case, when we start exercising these demons out of us, they got to go somewhere, fam. They have to go to a place. So I know now that my demons that I was dealing with, they went somewhere else. So why do you think you see a lot of these other nations starting to destroy themselves from within? Because there's a lot of brothers and sisters that are actually repenting. To whatever extent it is, we all have a grace and to our own measure, but it's happening. So just like you repent and those evil, wicked spirits leave, they got to go somewhere. And they're going to go to who? To the attackers, to the oppressors, the people that made it so hard for us to just have a peace of mind. So let's go.
Whoop! I guess you got me. You know what book I'm using, don't you?
Yeah, America being the latest and most accurate description of the New World from 1671. And you're going to use this as a picture book. It's hilarious. Cormeo already tried. We debunked him.
Right? You were red or a copper colored.
Yeah, that's where you guys got that from. Some YouTube random. But let's play along. Let's jump into this.
That's real good, because I'll show you the book. This is a book that you can only get in the Library of Congress.
Calm down, calm down. You can get this on archive.org. Sign up, it's free. Great books. You'll love it.
There's only one of them. And it clearly says, America, the most accurate depiction of the New World. Let's go in and see what this book's got in it.
Ugh, really, man? This is in your book, bro. Strange Animals of Guatemala. No wonder you didn't want to show these. Ugh. But yeah, you got it from who?
Right? You were red or a copper colored.
What is his name? Culomero? What's it? This guy. He's an agent. He's a Freemason. We already found the files on him. He goes and actually talks to this Anglo dude or this channel, but he doesn't want to even debate anybody that I know of. He ain't gonna touch me for sure. I'm just some little guy, supposedly.
Accurate descriptions, bro. 1671. Man, I want to go back to this guy, dude. Really? Really? This is what was here? Oh, man. What are they doing to this European? This is what they had here in America, bro? That's a camel. That's a rhinoceros. Definitely not accurate, bro. Not accurate at all. And yes, that is a unicorn being unicorns. Really, man? Sounds more like imagination.
And another picture. But let's get to the information. But before I do that, another picture.
Okay.
I'm gonna run through a couple copies of this book. Y'all screenshot the pages and do your own research. Here. It's an old book, so you're gonna have to screenshot it. I'll do a few more.
This man just screenshotted random parts of the book. Didn't even want to read them, but I will. So let's get into it right here. Now, to shut up all, that means earthworm too, it is evident that the first planters of America were not Europeans, from the dissimilitude of the people, both in their complexion, languages, and persons, nor Africans.
Nor Africans. This guy makes up his own history here. Here. That sad song. Let me take my shirt off. I want to show you guys my tattoos because I'm hard. You know what I mean? Kids. White boy. That's a white boy with nappy hair. That's what it is. He's a white boy with woolly hair. That's all.
It continues, because that in all the far-spreading country of America, not one Negro is to be found. Or check this right here. Their complexion is swarthy. Their hair naturally long and black, without curl. Without curl, bro. It doesn't even describe you. That's why you didn't want to read this. This page talks about Angolan slaves from Africa. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you read that part? Here's more. I mean, you can read the whole thing. Brought from the coast of Guinea, aka Africa. Brought hither from Guinea, Africa. African. The Angolan slaves. Slaves from...
This is our people.
Nah, bro, your book debunked you, man. You got debunked by your own source.
Here, dude uses one book, but the guy that writes the book, Don Calloway, lost his license and is being sued for spreading. Ah, that's beautiful. All right, let's finish it with this real quick, and appreciate y'all being here. Hey, bro, I, you know, man, you know, I care for you, bro. Thank you for sending me this. Gente, our time is now. Shalom, fam. Hope you guys have a good day, all right? Let's get to work. Let's get that money. Let's pay our bills. Let's go. And repent, repent, repent. Peace, fam. Peace, peace.
Estamos aquí, oye, que estamos aquí. Mírame, estamos aquí. Desde hace rato, cuando ustedes llegaron, ya estaban las huellas de nuestros zapatos. Se robaron hasta la comida de gato y todavía se están lamiendo el plato. Bien encabronados con estos ingratos. Hoy le doy duro a los tambores hasta que me acusen de maltrato. Si no entiendes el dato, pues te lo tiro en cumbia, bossa nova, tango o vallenato. A lo calabo y bambú, bien frontú, con sangre caliente como Timbuktu. Estamos dentro del menú. Tupac se llama Tupac por Tupac Amaru del Perú. América no es solo USA, papá. Esto es desde Tierra del Fuego hasta Canadá. Hay que ser bien bruto, bien hueco. Es como decir que África es solo Marruecos. Estos canallas se les olvidó que el calendario que usan se lo inventaron los mayas con la Valdivia precolombina. Desde hace tiempo, este continente camina, pero ni con toda la marina pueden sacar de la vitrina la peste campesina. Esto va para el capataz de la empresa. El machete no es solo para cortar caña, también es para cortar cabeza.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
Los paramilitares, las guerrillas, los hijos del conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos positivos, los periodistas asesinados, los desaparecidos, los narcogobiernos, todos los que robaron, los que se manifiestan y los que se olvidaron, las persecuciones, los golpes de estado, el país en quiebra, los exiliados, el peso devaluado, el tráfico de droga, los carteles, las invasiones, los emigrantes sin papeles, 5 presidentes en 11 días, disparo a quemarropa por parte de la policía, más de 100 años de tortura, la nova trova cantando en plena dictadura. Somos la sangre que sopla la presión atmosférica. Gambino, mi hermano, esto sí es América.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerde. de muerte.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.